Somebody called me fat on social media today.
It did.
Yeah, because I had on Instagram, I had a recipe where I said, I'm not going to give you the recipe because I want you to be creative. And they said, there's something that's so funny about a fat lady keeping a recipe all to herself. Mean, huh?
Very mean.
You know what I did?
I hope you kicked him in the balls.
No, I blessed their heart.
I am in Hillsborough right now, and I'm heading to the farmer's market because I want to get some cabbage to make sauerkraut for 4th of July. It takes at least a week to ferment cabbage and turn it into sauerkraut. So 4th of July is in a couple weeks, so I'm making sure to get a head start. This is where I got my cabbage. This guy was so nice. I'm heading over to the river walk along the Eno River because I hear that gazing at water can improve your health and happiness. Truly, it can lower your blood pressure and your heart rate. Does anybody else have the same problem I have with rocks getting in their Birkenstocks? So let's take a little walk around. Anybody out there watch Outlander? Specifically the 5th season of Outlander? Because this is the part of North Carolina where that whole season takes place in. With the regulators, Edmund Fanning, he lived here and he was the one who was dragged out of the courthouse. This is the town where 6 of the regulators were hanged.
We're going to be making some mayonnaise. I hate canola, and oftentimes mayonnaise recipes require canola because it's a neutral flavor, I guess. It's not neutral to me. Like, I hate the taste of it. I'm not like one of those, people who are like, no, seed oils are just terrible, because they have omega-3s. But we still need omega-3s. It's not like they're the devil. And all the studies that have shown harmful effects have been done on rats, not humans. I don't know. I just don't jump on those bandwagons. I just don't like the flavor of it. I hate the flavor of canola oil. It sucks. It's gross. I don't like it. So we're going to be making it with olive oil. But the problem with olive oil is that when you emulsify it, it becomes bitter. And that is because of the polyphenols. Whatever. It's the healthy stuff in the olive oil, but it turns bitter when you emulsify. I've been doing some research and I came across some advice, a suggestion. Suggestion comes from Nick Sharma. Nick Sharma said you have to remove the polyphenols from the olive oil in order to make mayonnaise, and then you can make the mayonnaise, and what you're left with is a very delicious mayonnaise because it has all the delicious flavors of olive oil, but none of the bitter components. And basically, you do this by washing it. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to wash our olive oil. This is what we got. And now we have to wait for about a half an hour or an hour for it to separate, and then I will skim off the oil and throw out the water, and then we will make mayonnaise with that extra clean oil.
So now I am very carefully skimming off the oil. You can see the layer of the water below and the oil on top, and I just continue doing that until there's just a thin layer of oil, and then I just dump it. Now I'm going to attempt to make mayonnaise. And yes, that was a little foreshadowing. Get it to thicken up.
So nothing worked today. My mayonnaise broke and I tried the fixes, adding the warm water, trickling in more egg. And look at this, it's thin. It's terrible. Obviously, I'm no expert on this homesteading traditional cooking thing, but I'm trying. I'm working on it. I am going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it right. I'm going to do some more research. If you want to help me, leave a comment below. I would so appreciate it. Find out some more information and experiment some more. I will make a short before. You're going to want to hit that bell. If you're following me. If you're not following me, then follow me and hit the bell so you'll be notified so you can see what happens next. I'm having a I'm having a, where's my wine? I need my kombucha. I need my red kombucha. I had an idea for how I was going to name this video. It was going to be like 5 easy or 6 easy condiment recipes that you can make for 4th of July. Yeah, this is kind of like a shit show. But I'm going to work on correcting all of the problems. I'm going to figure out the right way. And I'm going to make shorts. And then eventually I'll come back with another video after I am an expert. Now that I've chilled and played outside with the dogs for a little bit, I'm going to clean up this mess. In order to do that, I have to put headphones on, otherwise I just can't get it done. So I'm listening to a book called Dearest Hamilton by Stephanie Dray and a co-author. I'm so sorry, co-author. I don't remember your name. Of course, I remember Stephanie Dray's name because Stevie is actually a nickname of Stephanie. It's such a good book. I've been reading all her books. So I started with The Women of Chateau, Lafayette. I can't believe I said daughters. All about like the Revolutionary War in the US and in France from the perspective of the women surrounding Lafayette. I listen to them on Audible. And by the way, it's really no difference, like whether you read a book or listen to a book, you get pretty much just as much out of it. The same stuff happens in your brain. The only thing that doesn't happen is if you are illiterate, you can't actually learn how to read through Audible books. Yeah, I am thoroughly enjoying her books, and I think I have one more book to read from the Revolutionary series. Oh, also, these aren't just historical romances. They are well-researched books. And if there was any creative license taken by the authors, they tell you about it in the prologue. But after this book, I need something light. I need something witchy. Would that be horror? It's not really typically horror, but I love books that are in the vein of Alice Hoffman's Practical Magic. So I pretty much, if there's a witch book, I read it. Fingers crossed that it's good, because they're not always good, but sometimes they're amazing. I'm going to clean up this mess, and then I will come back and show you how I make sauerkraut, which I know how to make sauerkraut. I've done it several times before. I'm not going to flub this one up.
You're going to need a scale for this method because what we're going to be doing is weighing the cabbage, and we're going to take 2% of that weight to determine how much salt we need. So you're going to want to remove the outer leaves of the cabbage, slice it real thin, and weigh the cabbage, and then multiply that by 0.02%, and that is how many grams of salt you need to add. So the reason why I changed bowls is because my husband called me because he had really good news, and the scale timed out, so I had to weigh it again.
Even a person who can't make mayonnaise can make sauerkraut.
So you want to keep massaging it like you're kneading bread until it's juicy. And then once it's juicy, I like to season it with a little pepper, and then we're ready to put it in a jar. And you put it in the jar, cram it in. I'm using this little Wex lid, which is smaller than my wide mouth jar, as a weight, so it will keep the cabbage down, submerged in the brine that it will create. Then you will just loosely cap it and maybe put it in a bowl because sometimes it spills over. And then just check it in a week for flavor, and if it's ready, put it in the fridge.